Xbox Series, and PC November 8th. At number 9, LEGO Horizon Adventures is kind of an unexpected blend of open world exploration and puzzle solving, LEGO and Horizon. Yeah, I facetiously say that as a question because it just seems very weird. Horizon is kind of a franchise that it's popular, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly not the kind of hit with the kids that you would expect them to make a LEGO game out of. But I think what they're doing is actually pretty wise. You see, you take the LEGO series signature charm, you add in a world that we've never seen in LEGO ever, period. It's something new while being something you expect with the sort of lighthearted humor of the LEGO games, and in theory, it might work to expand the reach of the Horizon series. That has to be what they're going for here, because they're releasing this LEGO Horizon game on the Nintendo Switch, which is more than a little notable considering it's a Sony property, and they generally take their IP pretty seriously. One thing I definitely do like is the cooperative multiplayer. That's something you can definitely do here that you can't do in any other Horizon game. So there's stuff here for both adults and kids, and if you're an adult with a kid and you like Horizon Zero Dawn and LEGO and playing games together, I think this one's a standout for you. LEGO Horizon Adventures is coming to PC, Switch, and the PlayStations November 14th. And number 8 is Mario and Luigi Brothership. Like, how many RPG series are there of Mario with Luigi? Paper Mario, you got Mario and Luigi. I feel like there's another one, but I'm not remembering it right now. If I'm making it up, hold me accountable in the comments, but I do feel like there's another one. Anyway, we're returning to Mario and Luigi with a new twist. So this one's got space travel. You're in an interstellar spaceship. Looks like we got all the same quirky humor and turn-based combat and unique mechanics that Mario and Luigi is known for. It's kind of just a quirky game series in general. And I mean, if you keep making Mario and Luigi RPGs, it's eventually going to be in space, so here we are. I don't think the story is going to exactly blow your tits off or anything, but I don't think we play Mario and Luigi for the story. We play it for the camaraderie, strategic gameplay, tag team combat, just the unique stuff that's here that you can't really get anywhere else. I mean, you can get camaraderie and tag team battles and turn-based strategic game, that kind of stuff you can get, but you can't get it with the Mario Brothers. Well, I mean, except for in the other RPG series I mentioned and the hypothetical possible one that might exist. I can't remember right now. It sounds like I'm making fun of it, but like, these are actually really unique games and I really enjoy them. Mario and Luigi Brothership is coming to Nintendo Switch November 7th. And number 7, Metro Awakening brings the beloved Metro franchise back to life with a brand new story in everybody's favorite post-apocalyptic dystopia. Well, maybe not everybody's favorite, but, you know, Metro fans' favorite. Awakening continues the series' tradition of survival mechanics, limited resources, intense combat, a gripping storyline, but we are going to see more open-world elements this time around. We've got lots of new above-ground and below-ground locations. The developers claim that the enemy encounters are going to be more challenging and tactical with enhanced AI. Let's just assume that means combat's going to be better, which I like to hear. Metro's just a cool series, and I'm excited to play another one. It's hard for me to say, you know, anything other than that. Yeah, more Metro. Exactly. Thanks. Metro Awakening is coming to PC November 7th. And number 6, Towers of Aghasba is an open-world fantasy adventure game that, I mean, you find your normal exploration stuff. That's here. But in the mystical world of Aghasba, you're also doing some building. In fact, you're tasked with the ever so difficult proposition of rebuilding an entire civilization on a big old vibrant island. I mean, this is a cool idea because you don't usually get open world fantasy adventures that are creative. And I don't mean like, well, open world fantasy adventure games sure are uncreative, unoriginal slop. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, you, the player, have creative faculties within the game world. In fact, the thing that this reminds me of most is Dark Cloud. It's an old PS2 game. I'm not sure if anybody who's watching these videos remembers that one, but it's a really cool game. And obviously, there's a lot more of the modern conventions here. In some ways, it looks a little bit like a survival game, but I haven't really noticed anything official calling it a survival game. It kind of looks a little more involved in the cultivation of life and building. I don't know, it looks like something different to me, and if it is anything like Dark Cloud, I am absolutely there for this game. Towers of Aghasba is coming to PC and PS5 sometime during November, and it is going to be in early access, so The road ahead is as interesting as what's landing. I'll be playing it. Moving on to number 5, Mirthwood is a role-playing game that gives us some life simulation, some adventure, and of course, a medieval fantasy setting. This one does give me a little bit more of the vibe of a traditional survival game, but I want to give extra points on the life sim elements of it. You got a lot of choice going on in this game. It does have a main quest line. You can go ahead and blaze through the world and save it or whatever you end up doing. Or you can just farm, trade, build a community, and live a quiet life. This game is crazy detail. Look at this. The lush forest, the tranquil-looking villages, the scary dungeons. They're very cool looking. There's a lot of depth here. Now, you don't just get life simulation. I probably will not be just farming and trading and community, but I'm probably going to do the main quest line personally. And you got combat and exploration for that. This is a game where we really haven't seen this kind of claim as though it's like novel for quite a while, but they talked about how the NPCs kind of have their own lives and schedules and even stories to discover, which sounds very familiar to certain systems in Bethesda games. This is probably a pretty unique-ass game. Mirthwood's coming to PC on November 6th. I'm going to check it out. I hope it's what it sounds like it is. And at number 4, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 continues to allow you to fly all over the place. Obviously, you can boil this game down to that. That's a very simple way of putting it. It is stunning in terms of visual fidelity, and the fact that they accurately map out the entire world is frickin' crazy, even though some of it is maybe not the highest resolution. It's gleaned from Google Maps. The stuff that they've spent time modeling is breathtaking, though. This iteration, see, I can say the word. I've seen you complaining about my pronunciation on that too. I like saying iteration better, but I see you, I hear you, and I understand that I'm making things for you. So I'm not going to say Yuffie correctly ever. It's not Yuffie, it's Yuffie, and it's not Mako, it's Mako. But I'll compromise on iteration. You got prop planes, you can pilot over small cities, and it's Flight Simulator. I'm compensating for the fact that it's Flight Simulator. It's an iterative series. There are minor improvements, and then there's more craft, and there's more AI and stuff like that. Flight Simulator is great. I don't pretend that I play it on the most simulator-ish modes. I play it on the I could actually do this modes. The ones where you don't have to know how to actually turn on the plane. Anyway, so Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to Xbox Series and PC November 19th. And number 3 is a new RTS game called Empire of the Ants. Very rarely do you play an RTS in which the setting is an ant colony and the units are the ants. This is actually based on a novel that I didn't know existed. I guess it's very acclaimed. It's by Bernard Werber. It's called Empire of the Ants. I kind of don't care because it's an ant RTS. You don't need to tell me about the book. I think that's both hilarious and intriguing in the best possible way. You don't normally set games in anthills and advertise your blend of realistic simulation and strategic warfare. The closest I can think of is Sim Ant, and I don't know if I played that when I was so young. I don't even remember if there's combat in it. I don't think there was. It's a classic though, and this has all the makings of a classic because obviously the Ant RTS market isn't exactly saturated at the moment, so assuming it's a good game, it's one of the best of its kind. They're claiming that the way the AI works, every decision that you make matters. That could mean a lot of different things. I assume that's purely tactical. I don't think there's a narrative associated with this, although it is based on a novel, so I could be wrong. How could I not want to play Empire of Ants, though? It's coming to PC on November 7th. And number 2, the eagerly awaited Path of Exile 2. Hey, have you been waiting to continue the dark, intricate, intriguing world of Rayclast? Been aching for some deep customization options and a complex skill tree? Well, Path of Exile 2 is coming soon. So they've completely revamped the original campaign and given you a new campaign, as well as updated visuals, character classes, all of that kind of stuff. It's interesting because the original Path of Exile campaign, it's here, and there's a second campaign as well, but they both lead to the same endgame content, which is, it's different. It's not something I necessarily recall in anything else, at least recently. They've also revamped the gem socketing system. gives you more freedom in building your character's abilities. Materia, I'm not knocking it. I'm actually quite happy. It's not like Path of Exile didn't have it, so it's a good system. It's also not exactly the same. It's whatever. If you did do any microtransactions in the original, if you did buy any expansions in the original, all that carries over to the new game too. It still maintains the free-to-play model where it's cosmetics. That's what you're buying, which and also obviously the expansions. I mean, where else are you going to get the same balance of lore, character building, and fine, detailed, challenging combat? It's Path of Exile 2. I think that this is going to be one of the best RPGs of the year. I expect we're going to hear a lot of high praise of this one. It's coming to PC, the PlayStation's Xbox Series, and Xbox One on November 15th. And finally, at number 1 is Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Hey, remember the old Stalker? It's been a while. And now we get the survival horror, we get the storytelling, we get the super atmospheric Chernobyl exclusion zone as an open world. You're a scavenger navigating this post-apocalyptic, very radioactive place. You're kind of getting all of the original Stalker goodness, but they've really upgraded the visuals with the Unreal Engine 5. We got weather systems, we got day-night cycles, really detailed environment. Like, this is a very pretty version of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Not nice looking, but you know what I mean by pretty here. They're claiming to have a big AI upgrade in terms of your enemies and NPCs so that your combat is a lot more unpredictable. Honestly, I don't care if it is or isn't. I'm kind of just here for more Stalker. Which Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl is coming to PC and Xbox Series November 20th. And as a bonus, let's talk Planet Coaster 2. You want a big old crazy theme park, but you don't want to go back to the first Planet Coaster because you want, better